All right. It is Monday. It is like 6 something in the morning, and today's gonna be a big day. Excuse me. We're gonna work my 9 to 5 job at the hospital, and then after that, we're gonna go to the lab, and we're gonna get hopefully the angiography simulation working in a little bit of a better form. Hopefully get the wires looking right, get the caths looking right, and really get that sort of angiography feel that we're shooting for. So yeah, all right, let's get to work. Hello, welcome. We just finished work, so that was fun. Yeah, nothing too crazy there, so that was good. So we're back in the lab today, and the goal is to sort of keep working on the angiography system and trying to get the simulation in sort of a good spot before we sort of start, I guess you would say, more of the innovation side of things. And so when sort of looking at the data of sort of our first trial, the colors looked right. So sort of that grayscale, sort of the differentials between sort of the white and the grayish colors. So that was positive. And we were able to make out the catheter when it was filled with dye. So that was also a positive feature. That being said, there are a few things that we still need to get right in order for this simulation to be, I would say, a more faithful representation. The first thing that I really want to look at is the vessel differentiation. So right now, when we looked at that sort of first generation of angiography, you could see the vessels pretty clearly relative to the background without any sort of angiography sort of injection. And that's not exactly faithful, right? In a real fluoroscopy angiography situation, you're not gonna really see any vasculature until you throw the dye through. So we definitely need to fix that. The vessels need to be hard to see until we throw the dye through. The other thing that I think we need to kind of work out, get going a little bit better, is definitely the guide wire. So when we did that initial test, you couldn't see the guide wire at all. And that's a big problem because guide wires actually usually show up quite well in angiography, in the fluoroscopy imaging. And we couldn't really make that out. So today, we're gonna try sort of the second iteration of our angiography system. And essentially, this iteration has what's called region of interest segmentation. And so basically, before we go in and do our imaging, what we're gonna do is we're gonna basically tell the computer, hey, this is what the vessel is. Hey, this is what the background is. This is what the catheter is. This is what the guide wire is. And my hope is that by doing that, we'll get a more faithful imaging. So we should, in theory, hopefully, make out like this is the guide wire. We should be able to, hopefully, in theory, kind of reduce the ability to see the vessel until we throw dye through it. So today is going to be kind of testing that initially. Sort of my initial impression is I think our region of interest segmentation is going to work quite well, but then actually getting the masking right to really get that true angiography, that's going to be a little bit of a trial and error. I don't think we're going to nail it perfectly today, but I think it'll be a good next step forward. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to get into the lab, get up to 5.5 on the Venetian circulation, and then sort of stress test the code and see what we got. So yeah, I'm gonna get gowned up and we're gonna cook. So let's go.